Okay, this is part 2 of the group solid tutorial video. Last time we left off, I stopped abruptly here, which said to modify solids, pick Boolean from the modify menu. So we're going to go into AutoCAD and do that. But once we get there, we're going to make our 3 box shapes into one big shape. So if you look at this one here where my mouse is, it kind of gets rid of some of those lines around there. So let me go into AutoCAD and do this. So I'm into AutoCAD. I need to make sure I'm in 3D modeling. And I go from home, which is where you'll typically start. I go over to solid. Once I'm in solid, I can click on union. Union is here where it said in the instructions the Boolean commands. I go to union. I choose each part of the boxes. Now it's going to select what looks like the cylinders, and that's okay. It's not really doing anything with those, but right now the cylinders and the boxes, they all kind of are in the same place, kind of like having 2 objects in the same place at the same time, which we know can't happen, but in the computer we can make that work. So we did that. I need to move this. I don't know if you can see this thing on my screen, but I'll get it out of the way. It's a select objects. So now I've selected all 3. I'm going to hit enter. And when I first did this, I saw that I had some errors. I didn't get like an error message, but I had some lines that shouldn't have been there. When you first do this, if you do it correctly, you're going to see like it looks like there's a line where my cursor is blinking, where my cursor is hovering there. And that's actually the line on the inside. So it's really easy to be kind of fooled by those kinds of things. But this looks good. So next, back to the instructions, and I'm going to use the subtract. I'm going to subtract the cylinders to make the holes. First, I subtract the subtract command, and then I pick all the boxes that I just picked. So it's really just one shape. So I'll click that first. I'll hit enter, and then I will pick the cylinders, and then press enter. So right there, I will choose subtract. It's a Boolean command. I'll go right here. I'll click enter. And I'm going to choose the part I want to get rid of, basically, which is the cylinders. And you're going to have to kind of mess with the mouse a little bit. It seems to like it if you're near an edge. If you need to zoom a little bit, you can zoom, and that will help too. So there I've selected the part I want to take out. I hit enter, and now you can see through it. This would be harder to notice that you actually did this if you were in the wire frame, but being in the X-ray makes it a lot easier to see. So there I've got a good start there. Let's head back to those instructions again. Okay, so we subtracted. Now we're going to use the fillet command. Now a fillet is kind of like you take an edge and round it. So if you remember from your OT class, we used a chamfer bit to undercut our long boards. Well, you can also use what's called a round over bit, and a round over bit just makes what it says. It rounds over the edge, and then you would sand that. So a fillet is kind of like that, or it could kind of be like taking it to a bandsaw and cutting something round or something like that. So we're going to pick edges 1, 2, 3, and 4 to start. So that's going to be like this corner, this corner, this corner, this corner, and we're going to have a radius of 1.5. So let's go to AutoCAD. For this one, I like to move to the southeast isometric, so I could come over here, or I could go right here and then choose southeast isometric from my views there. And then I need to go to fillet edge. It looks like fillet, but for some reason they pronounce it fillet. The first thing I want to do now, I want to go out of the order that I'm used to. I'm not going to select the object first. I'm going to hit R for radius. I'm going to hit enter. And then I need to select or type in the radius I'm going to use. I'm pretty sure that was 1.5, and it is. So I just come back to AutoCAD, I type 1.5, I hit enter. Then I can select all of my edges. So I want this edge, and look what it does there. It sort of makes it looks textured. It actually won't be, but it's going to look that way. So then I click the bottom, and then you see it joins it together here. Our height is 3, so a radius of 1.5 will really make this round. So we'll go there to that edge, we'll go there to that edge, and then we'll hit enter. And then you will notice there's an extra step. It says press enter to accept the fillet or R radius. So you could also choose your radius here, but we already did that. So we're going to press enter to accept the fillet. If you don't do that, then when you go to do anything else, the fillet you just did will delete, which is not the end of the world, but it might be to you. So now let's go back. We've got some more fillets to make. We're going to repeat the command. We're going to pick edges 5 and 6. These are the inside corners. They're going to have a radius of 0.25. So I'm going to go back here. For this, I'm going to move my view kind of how I want to see it so that I can get access to each corner. So I'll do this one, then I'll move my view and get this one. So I'm going to go fillet edge. I'm going to type R, enter for radius, and I believe that was 0.25, but my memory is like that of a newt, so I'm going to go back to Chrome, check my instructions, yes, 0.25, hit enter, and then I choose the edges I want to fillet at 0.25. So I'll go there, and I'll click and drag and go there. Hit enter. I double check to make sure it looks like I want it to. If you're not sure, you can just do a top view, and you can look and just see that it did round those there. That worked. I need to, again, hit enter to accept the fillet, and I'm good. Okay, I'm back to Southwest isometric for a second. Back to my instructions because I'm not done. Now I've got one more time edges 7 and 8. Now this arrow is hard to tell where it's pointing. It's actually pointing to the outside corner, kind of to match the inside corner. We're going to have a radius of 0.75. So I come back, fillet edge, radius R, enter, 0.75, enter, and then I'm going to choose those outside corners. Boom, there's that one. This one could be hard to do. I could come down here and click it. I also, I'm a big fan of rotating my view whenever I'm working in 3D and just making sure things look all right in other areas that I can't always see. I press enter to accept that fillet, and that is looking good. Okay, back to my instructions. And so now it says you'll find out some information about the solid shape you've created. We're going to skip this last part for now. I can show you how to do an inquiry to find out the mass of the shape and the volume of the shape, but that's a little bit beyond what we need to do right now. So at this point, what you should do is go back to AutoCAD, save it, and then you're going to put it on box.com, your finished yoke. But then I would click Save As, and then you can send that to me unless I give you another instruction. It might just be easier to call me over and have me look. But there we go. You hopefully have made a yoke. If not, go back a couple steps wherever you messed up. Make sure you raise your hand, ask for help, and we will get you on the right track. But hey, that's your first sort of complex 3D object. Good for you. And with that, we'll see you next time.